and thank you for coming tonight, and great job to everyone who's come before us. I'm Samantha Holland-Wagner. I'm the proud Parks and Recreation Director for the town of Yountville.
I'm Andrew Siegel, and I'm the owner of Liquid Trade Solutions.
Yay! Elizabeth Alcott Real Estate. Stephanie Kendall, Carpe Diem Wine Bar.
Okay, so how many of you work for or own a small or medium-sized business? Raise your hands. Be proud. Okay. And of those who raise their hand, who of you would like more customers?
Always.
Right?
Bring them on.
Okay. How many of you work for or serve a local nonprofit or charitable organization? Okay, hands up high. And of those, how many of you are tired of the ask? Asking, right? Okay. So what we are about to tell you could help you bring in more customers, bring in more business, and give back to the community so that the community organizations didn't always have to ask, would you listen captively even though you have to really, right? Okay, great. So we got that covered. So I'm going to start from the beginning. It was a long 7 months ago. The 5 mates, so we're obviously 4 tonight. We're missing Greg Solzberg, who had to go away for business. So he's not here tonight, but obviously here in spirit. So the 5 mates started our maiden voyage at Fish Story. See, it all kind of rolls in line there. 5 mates, voyage, Fish Story, right? Great cocktail hour, by the way. And it was the first stop on our bonding evening. Several bars later, we ended up at Dim Sum Charlie's, which is just amazing food if you haven't been there. We were sitting around the fire, we had some bottles and some questions that Greg brought, and we formed a terrific bond. We didn't sing Bottles of Beer on the Wall, but we had some very thoughtful conversation, which none of us remembered the next day. So we kicked around a lot of ideas, including a Welcome to the Wine Country sign on Highway 29, fundraising for various organizations, a cultural project to assist with the divide, the perception of a cultural divide in Napa, and then the last idea that we talked about, we termed originally as Napa Bucks. So we were all kind of dumbfounded at first, and in fact we took a week to kind of digest what had come up, and then another week of explanation, and then another week, and then another week, and then another week, and finally by mid-December we all got it. And it was really very simple all along, we just made it very complicated. And the main selling point for all of us is that we can benefit many charities, not just one. So we thought we were really thinking big now. So the end result of many, many, many hours of hard work was the Pomegranate Trade Exchange, or PommTrade. PommTrade is a trading platform for local businesses to harness the economic power of barter while raising money for not one but many local charities. So I'm sure you're wondering what's with the name, right? Pomegranate Trade Exchange.
Like, what is with the name?
Yeah, we're in the Napa Valley, right? It shouldn't it be like grape trade exchange or wine trade exchange? But first off, it's a happy fruit, right? Pomegranate, happy fruit. Right? To us, the seeds represent the individual businesses, which are okay on their own, but as you guys said, could always use more business, right? But connected together, like the interior of a pomegranate, they make a solid and strong piece of fruit, which represents our community. So not only does our project address the charitable aspects of giving back, it also helps our local businesses to succeed and create a connected local business network.
Bank, it's actually a really very stable and very interesting currency system that was created back in 1929 because of the stock market crash, which resulted in extreme currency shortages and global financial instability. The name "wir" means we in German and was chosen to remind people that the economic circle is also a community. Bank was created for local businesses to continue transacting with an alternate currency regardless if the government failed them. The Bank system provided the bookkeeping service, basically a debit and credit system for transactions to occur in a simple and traceable way. World Bank started with only 16 members and today is in excess of 62,000. It is a complementary currency that was granted special status by the Swiss government and is widely considered as one of the reasons the Swiss franc is one of the most stable in the world. It even has its own currency code designated by ICO 4217. It's a really cool thing. And back then, it started up because basically, we were going into World War II and there was a collapse of the financial system, kind of like what's happening now. And suddenly, the local community couldn't really depend on the banking system. And this was a way for local businesses to continue transaction regardless of the banking or the government going away or a lot of upheaval that was happening. And so this was a system that was created with local businesses looking to support one another.
So PommTrade is a Napa-based trade program created to facilitate barter between businesses. It specializes in providing companies with an alternative way to create capital while gaining goods and services at their own cost. Allows companies to maximize returns on excess inventory and/or excess capacity. Is built from the ground up to benefit our community. Local business dollars stay local, and profits, both cash and trade, are donated to local charities. PommTrade is also a member of the National Trade Association. What does that mean to you as a potential member? It means not only do we have our local community we can trade with, but let's say you want Giants tickets. So you call our account manager. Thank you, our account manager, and you can talk with her, Holly, and say, I want to go and see the Giants. And she'll see if she can get you Giants tickets, and you can trade that way. So it's not only local, but we can also trade outside the community within the exchange. Next slide, please. PommTrade is a trading platform that enables local businesses that we spoke about earlier to capture the economic power of barter with other businesses within the community while benefiting our local charities. Members of the exchange are able to buy and sell without using cash. Instead, the members accept trade dollars. One barter dollar equals one trade dollar to facilitate transactions. The benefits to our businesses and toward the community is it'll increase sales. It will enable members to earn trade dollars by proactively marketing your business to other members in the network. Save cash. Trade dollars can be used on a wide range of products and services via other members of the exchange that would otherwise require 100% cash. And it's effortless trading. Hey, there's an account manager. She also will act as somewhat of a concierge and assist you with your buying and selling of basic services to facilitate your trades. With ease. Stephanie.
Well, thank you very much, Elizabeth. Next slide, please. Sorry, I don't like these things. All right, so how does this really work? It sounds a little tricky. It's really simplistic, I promise. Members of the exchange earn their trade dollars immediately when signing up for being part of PommTrade. So me being a business owner, example is perfect, being Carpe Diem Wine Bar. Let's say I want to put $3,000 worth of my company's sales into this business. Then that allows me to immediately, within the next 24 hours, once I let the account manager know that I'm part of the team, I can spend that immediately. So when you think really as a business owner, your cost of goods, let's say for a restaurant, it's typically around 30%. That means I'm going to be able to go and spend that sort of money out there. For example, the plasma flat screen. Sorry, I'm stuttering over words. Not a good public speaker, but I'm trying. Leadership Napa Valley. Basically, the flat screen is really only going to cost me $2,000 where it would have cost me $10,000 in sales over a long time. You don't do that within a few days. And the amount you agree to sell is the amount you're going to spend immediately. And similar to a bank or credit card, PommTrade's going to keep track of all your transactions, which is going to be accessed on our website, PommTrade.com, which is awesome. Thank you, Samantha, for putting that all together. Beautiful, beautiful. I know. Great eat that. No, I'm just kidding. Yours is kind of better, but we're going to work on ours. And PommTrade provides account managers to assist members with their transactions and to provide concierge services for booking restaurants, hotels, and other items when appropriate. Going back to your Giants tickets, call the account manager. She's going to find out, oh, yeah, we can get you in here. That's no problem. And again, it's only going to cost you your cost of goods, which in turn is going to save you, 60, 70%, which is huge. Next slide, please. All right. And there's really no upfront cost to join this whatsoever. And I think that's a huge benefit to this. And all we're going to charge would be a 6% cash commission for each purchase and sale, which in turn is going to go back to the local charities, every bit of our profit. That's the whole point of this thing. The fee will be waived for the first 6 months, the $15 trade and the $15 service fee, which we're going to implement on each on your monthly charge. And again, going back to the reason we're doing this, honestly, Leadership Napa Valley, we're here to raise money, support the local community. We really just want to give back to how much has been given to us. And through PommTrade, I really believe it's going to work. I mean, you'll see in just a little bit what we have going already, which is very exciting. And everything we're going to earn, it's going to go back to the charities, which can in turn use the trade dollars for catering services from Dim Sum Charlie's, Carpe Diem, any other restaurants that are on board. And we're also, members of the exchange that are on board are also going to be able to donate trade dollars they would like as a tax write-off, which is going to add up a lot over time. And PommTrade itself, again, we're going to donate trade and all of our cash profit to local charities. I think it's going to be a really cool thing. All right, next slide, please.
Andrew.
Barter is a really old concept, but the challenge with barter is that it implies a double coincidence, meaning that I want something that you have and vice versa. And the challenge with that is that that's a really limited thing, and it rarely happens. It's fun, and when people get involved with it, we all have probably bartered at one point or another. A really good example is I got a call from DeRosa. I own Dim Sum Charlie's, if anybody doesn't know that. And long time, baby, long time. So I ended up getting a call from DeRosa, and they asked Dim Sum Charlie's to cater an event. And they wanted me to donate my catering services for a fundraiser that they had. And the reality is I just couldn't afford it. Dim Sum Charlie's was just not in a place where we could do that. So they had suggested bartering. They have memberships, and LNV class members all know DeRosa and probably know the membership program. So she had said, this is Jane over at DeRosa, had suggested that we just barter. And the problem is that the cost of the catering event was going to be too much for the amount of memberships that we would be able to use. So if it was, let's say, $1,000, I don't really need $1,000 worth of DeRosa memberships. So I would like to be a member of DeRosa, but the reality is we had being part of this whole practicum group, had decided to use that as a first trade. And so we had suggested that DeRosa join PommTrade and put forth their memberships into the system. So Dim Sum Charlie's would, instead of earning DeRosa memberships directly, would instead earn PommTrade dollars. So now Dim Sum Charlie's was willing to do the event and accept in-kind payment PommTrade dollars. So I might use some of those PommTrade dollars to buy a membership, but I can also have the freedom to go to Carpe Diem or to go to Mutineer Magazine and buy an ad, and then Mutineer Magazine can use their PommTrade dollars to go to 1801 and get some room nights, and 1801 can use their room nights or their trade dollars to go and have some cocktails at Carpe Diem and so on and so forth. And so the spirit of the local economy is being able to utilize the capacity of our own businesses. On a Wednesday night, Carpe Diem is not sold out. On a Thursday or throughout our businesses, we all have excess capacity, we all have excess production that we can put to use to generate increased sales and to simultaneously keep that business local and make transactions continually happen. I have with me here this evening Holly, who joined us recently, who's going to be the account manager. If you want to just stand up and say hello. Holly Coffer came down from Seattle to actually be the account manager. So like a transaction would occur with, say, Darcy at First Street, who's now a member of the exchange, saying, okay, now I have PommTrade dollars and I would like to go to Hawaii. And through the International Reciprocal Trade Association that was mentioned earlier, we're able to allow that to happen so she can get a hotel in Hawaii using excess capacity that would have otherwise gone unsold. And so there you have a system that really capitalizes on our excess inventories, on the ability for us all to increase business that we otherwise wouldn't have had through trade. And that's the whole power of trade. That's what it's all about. So there you have it. I mean, that's the function of barter in a modern setting.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay, so to sum it all up, you all have information there on your tables because you too want to be a part of this. And you're not just seeing logos up here. We are actually running. We are signing up businesses, and the ones you see here on the screen are already part of PommTrade. We already are successfully running. And if anyone has an interest or questions, we'll all be here afterwards. But we hope to make a large impact in the charitable community here in Napa. Thank you.